What's going on, family? Black Feniks checking in tonight before the clock hits 12. And I was just thinking about an old proverb that actually hit me today. I had a conversation with a gentleman, and it made me remember of a old proverb that I read. And I remember when I first read this statement, I literally thought that it was just nice. It was like a cool statement. You know what I mean? I like, oh man, that's nice. But I didn't fully understand what it meant. To say that if you see a man who is skilled, he will stand before kings and not mean man or obscure man. Good evening, good evening. And it hit me now that I fully understand what it means. Someone who is skilled and diligent in their business, someone who believes in what they do. They might fail. We all fail before we succeed, but they never stop. They learn, they maneuver, they keep going. And this type of individual will stand before kings. He won't stand before obscure man, meaning men who are not known or just be in a position where he's not being noticed for his skills. And it made me think about something that's very important, family. Something that I think that we literally overshadow sometimes is the ability of the tradesman, the skills of the person who actually allows the culture to live, to be remembered. If we look at the pyramids, the sculptures, the old cities, the developments, the landscaping, all of this stuff came from tradesmen. Yes, the skill level is important, and that's what it says. It's the skilled man. He's the one that, or the person who actually put the pyramids together that in a way where we still go and get blew out the water at the way they did it with the tools and the ability of how they did it at that specific time, you know what I mean, in history. And then you think about some of the sculptures, or you think about some of the things that was done before our modern day, things that we tend to praise and want to go see and pay homage to. The Great Wall of China. It's many things in Africa, in South America, Mexico, even in America, that is mind blowing off of what some tradesmen did with their hands and with their minds. And if you are diligent, if you are skilled, and you really believe in what you do, and you push, you're not going to go unnoticed. There may be some quiet nights, mornings, evenings, you know what I mean? But you're not going to go unnoticed. Like, the people who come up with the greatest ideas still need someone to actually turn that ideal into a physical form, to make it exist, to like bring it to life, so to speak, to nurture it. So even the engineer need the welder, need the carpenter, need the plumber, the electrician, need the tradesman to actually make this thing work. So I think that it's very important that we don't despise the ability to learn a skill, the ability to be skilled, and to really believe in what you do and honor that trade, whatever it might be. Mine, for instance, is welding, and a lot of time when a person called me just a welder, to me, it's really an understatement because there's so much I do other than weld, and I think being a welder, a a seasoned welder, you're a fabricator, you're an installer. Um, my bad about that. Had a little connection issue. So I think that it's important that we don't despise the tradesman, don't despise the person who is skilled, who can actually do things with their hands. And if it's you, like don't think that your hard work isn't going to pay off if you're persistent, if you're dedicated, if you really have in your heart to do what you're trying to do. Like you really want to build, you really want to educate, you really want to develop your own way, you can do it. It's not going to be easy because, like, it's like a kid. Sometimes you see some kids, it takes longer for them to walk than others. And sometimes it be because they be scared to fall. And then you see some kids that see, like, I don't care, I got to figure this out. I see these other kids running. You know what I mean? It's always amazing when you see those kids who start walking early. Like all of my kids did. And my son, I remember him starting around 10, 10, 11, 10 months, I believe. He was going 11, he was strong. 12, he was a beast. And my daughter, Amara, she was young like that. She started walking young. And I actually didn't even know she was walking. My older daughter taught her how to walk. And I was watching TV one night, and she just got up and walked across the deal and blew my mind. I'm looking like, and it was cool. She looked at me, you know what I'm saying? It was just funny, but how kids tend to develop so fast. And I think that we do that too, with our skills. We have to start off at a certain stage before we can actually be polished the way we want to be polished. But I, I just believe that we shouldn't get discouraged about what we're doing. If you're a tradesman, you're trying to build your business. If you're trying to build your business with integrity, it's gonna work. Like if you're trying to build it where you really sincere about your mission, it's gonna work. Don't worry about. I think sometimes, a lot of times, we tend to focus on the storm. There could be storms going on, and we know that the land is here. We know that we're gonna make it there, but we will be so focused on the winds and what's going on, and it tends to trouble us and discourage us, and we tend to feel like, oh man, I ain't gonna make it. This ain't gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna go with this, and a lot of times you literally don't know how it's gonna work out. Like sometimes I don't know how certain things are gonna work out. I just know that I got to work it out. You know what I mean? I got to figure out a way. So instead of saying I don't know how this is going to work out, I just say how can I make this work out? What do I need to do? What do I how do I need to maneuver this situation? What do I need to do to put me in a situation where this won't happen again, or I'll be in a better situation? You know what I mean? So I think that tradesmen are overlooked. Tradesmen are shadowed by the tech world, I would say. Certain images on social media, you would think that, oh, it's about this and that, and you can't knock anyone's grind, anyone's glow. If someone made it to a certain status, then that's how they got there. But sometimes when you're dealing with the social world, social media world, it's always a lot of people behind them to get them to that position, so that way we can see them where they at versus someone who actually worked hard and you seen his work. You literally see the progress over time. Sometimes all you see is I was I was in a messed up situation and now I'm rich and famous. You don't really see the process of how they really got there, and I think that deceives a lot of our younger generation, thinking that you can literally get there overnight. and you can't, certain things does happen overnight, but it was a process over time. You know what I mean? So I just think that we should take more pride in what we do. Don't get discouraged and feel like, well, I'm just gonna do enough just to get by, or do enough. Just do it from the heart. Like when I teach, when I build my products, like when I do my installs, I do it where I know that, okay, this is a good service, a good product. I know this is going to look good. I know it looks good for me. I know it's going to last good for the client or the customer. I feel like we have to just take pride in what we do. And, you know, doing these independent classes, I have to take pride in being an instructor that really want to see my students win. Like, I want to see them make products. I want to see them start businesses. I want to see them um, educate their children. Pass it on, pass the trades on. I mean, I think that's what it's about. So, but you have to be sincere what you do. When I help clients with their container conversions, you have to be clear about what you can do and really open up that door for them. What's good? What's good? What's good? Salute, salute, man. How's life for you, man, down there? Um, like I say, man, I just feel like we should, continue to let our trade shine, continue to be confident at what we do, continue to, you know, um, be them great tradesmen and pass these trades down, because the trades is a dying breed, and a lot of people is venturing away from different things, but not knowing that you really can have a nice living. You can really do a lot of great things by learning the trade, by being hands on, by really, getting your hands dirty, so to speak. I didn't want to keep y'all long. Equipment repair. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I repaired some equipment last week, and last week was a good week on repairs. And you be it's ironic that you say that, because using your trades can always help someone maintain their business. Not only can you start and maintain yours, but by you using it, you helping them maintain theirs. Because if even if the budget is tight, you got to maintain your equipment to stay in business. So certain repairs are just needed in certain fields. So, hey man, being a mobile welder, being a mobile tradesman, oh man, you in there, millwright, iron worker, plumbing, anything you do that's mobile, and you willing to repair and help a situation, AC, HVAC, man, all of that is like, whoo. Listen, I'm telling you, tradesman is where it's at, man. And I just want to salute them, and that's literally what HogOn is all about. That's what I'm talking about, man. Shop work and field work. You know what? It's been the same, man. You know what? I'm in Georgia now, so things has been it's been a new area. I've been learning the area, but I can't say this. It's been a little peachy. You know what I mean? Like, compared to where I've been, and maybe it's from going through the process and actually finally getting somewhere else now where you can kind of like enjoy certain things. But a lot of the things that I'm able to do now, I can tell it was from the groundwork that I did in Phoenix and Oklahoma City, leaving Arkansas when I first did, Kansas City. Like, all of those movements that I made kind of get me to the position that I'm in now. Oh man, what you say, bro? Is the weather is a little heated, but like I say, I was in Phoenix. Down here, it's more humidity. The humidity is thick versus being in Phoenix in a dry heat. And it's like right now, especially during the daytime, if it mess around and rain a little bit, it's like you gonna be wet. So when you walk out, you might well you might well keep a towel with you or something. Especially me, because I sweat bad, so it's just what it is. So, but it's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? I think everywhere you go, you got to give and you take, and I would rather be warm than cold. You know what I mean? Me personally. So I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? As long as I can get under some air here and there. You know what I mean? Or I'm not directly in it, or I stay dehydrated and do my thing. I'm okay. It's cool. But like I say, I do enjoy the sun. You know, it has been raining a lot here lately, so that makes it a little slow on certain things. But it's been alright. Hope everything continue to go well for you. Actually, I am running a Lincoln machines actually right now in the field. I'm using a 250 and a 140 actually that I use a lot, and those two machines actually been doing well. And I do a lot of 70, 18, 330 seconds welding, eighth inch rods sometimes, but majority of it 70, 18, and then a lot of flux coring. So I do a lot of flux coring in the field. So it's been working. I got rid of the one miller that I had, the one gas miller that I had, and I kind of went a different route to kill seven birds with one stone. So now I use generators, but I'm actually gonna get another situation going soon to actually burn to run a straight gas rig. Yes, a lot of flux, man, especially on heavy equipment, man, is easier. You can burn high, get good penetration. It's more economical too because you don't have to throw them rods everywhere, and you can really put down some nice beads. So, me personally, I recommend it if you can get you a good flux machine that can do heavy equipment. I mean, it's a win-win. So it just all depends on what the requirements is. Most of the time on structural repairs or structural installs, it's be a lot of stick welding 7018s due to the alloy that's in the rod, the flexment of the building, because the 7018 rod actually it moves, and it's not as hard of a wire, a hard of a weld where if it moves it'll crack under a certain amount of pressure. Okay, okay. Want to go on and upgrade it? Hey, you know what? I'm telling you, you have to go on and make your mind up and say, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do, and go on and do it. So I'm glad you went and gone and made that decision. I think that's one of the major things. That's the biggest things is actually just jump on it. Oh, most definitely, man. Most definitely. But you got to think about it. It's Saturday night, Sunday morning right now. You know what I mean? So, like I say, I was up actually thinking and just wanted to go live and talk about that because I think most of our younger generation has overlooked or overshadowed being a tradesman. And I feel like we're a dying breed and we should be proud to be tradesmen because we will stand before kings and not obscure men. Like you will be recognized for your tradesmen. The females are being recognized for their trades. It's like the tradesman is being recognized for the hard work, and you have to put in the work. You know what I mean? You can't be recognized for something without actually putting in the work from a small scale or a big scale, but you got to show progress. You know what I mean? Most definitely, man. We are a dying breed, man, and a lot of people are venturing away from it, and that's something that I want to leave my kids, especially my son. I try to encourage his development because he loved to build with Legos, so I'm always upgrading the sets and giving him different things to build and work his engineering mind. You know what I mean, and then show him a physical trade. I want to, every time I'm around him, I always teach him how to do something with some welding or some grinding or some cutting or some type of fabrication, reading the tape measure, something. You know what I mean? I want him to understand what it is, and then he figured out that he can make money from it. Like how much money? Oh man, that's all you got. I can do how much? I can do this. And I'm like, yeah, you can do this and you can buy this. And that's all he think. At first, it's cool because once we jump in and we get those good paying jobs, man, you can make some good money. We travel and people can't say you're not going to it. If you don't teach a person how to manage money, and that's why it starts at young, especially, or whenever you can learn how to manage money, you're gonna mess some of it off, man. It's just what it is. You're gonna buy some bang things. You're gonna do some stuff. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? So you have to teach your child while they're young. Start teaching them financial literacy. And if you're in a stage where you don't know, it's always good to start learning. I don't care if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You're still alive and you're not familiar with it. It's good to get some education on it because things are changing. Money is changing. Time is changing. One thing I have noticed too, that during this pandemic, during this virus situation, jobs, and doing this money, free money they've been passing out, one thing I noticed that the cost of materials have been going up. I did a price list, family. I'm gonna bring this price list out. Shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out. I most definitely want to say I did a price list, and I want to share it with you because it blew my mind. And I'm gonna show you, give you a small example of how this, some of these steel prices are like really, really, really rising. So I did a call on this place. Let me find it. So this is, I'm gonna give you a price on, and this is actually, I guess this will be this is about 3 months difference. So I got a price on a piece of C channel, and this is, and it went up beforehand. And here, when I first made it here, the price for 3S C channel was actually $51.22. And I priced it the other day, it was $71.24. So it went up $20 in 90 days from that standpoint. And then I priced this right here, was ridiculous, man. I priced let me see, where is it? Okay, here we go. I priced 11 gauge 4x8 sheet. It was $264. 11 gauge 4x8 sheet. That was like ridiculous. 16 gauge, which is real thin, is 110, 14. And 14 gauge was $64. And this is in this area. I don't know where it's like in your area. I know in Phoenix it's probably higher than this. If it's high like this, it's probably ridiculous out there, you know. But I was pricing some tubing, man, and just some of the things that had went up, like a 2-inch 3/16 tubing 20 foot is $132 now. Man, it's ridiculous, ain't it? These prices are crazy, man. So I was just looking at some of the things that, like, I was telling the guy, he was asking me about my welding skids. I'm like, in order for me to sell one now, I have to charge, like, if my base price was $500, I have to charge now my base price of $600 for me to make one and finish one because of the price of the material. Like, I can't go, I mean, I got to compensate for that. So for those who are interested in one, I mean, if you have your own equipment, getting the welding skid prints is this the way to go, because you can build your own. So check out the website. That's www.hogonwelding.com. That's www.hogonwelding.com, and you can actually get the welding skid prints, and you can build your own. And I believe, I actually got a prototype here. So this is the vertical prototype of the welding skid. So, like I say, if you're a fabricator and you're interested in building one, it is most definitely a win-win. You can buy the prints for $100 and you can build your own. You can be able to build your horizontal or a vertical one. You have to pick which one you want on the prints, and then you can download it and you can build your own. And then, like I say, if you already have the steel or the equipment, it's easy for you to build your own and save you time. And then it's a great product, not only a great product, but it's a great process, I mean, for the student and for someone who want to be hands-on and really um, build their business and actually say, hey man, I'm gonna fabricate this myself and actually see that work. So you can learn a lot from it. You know, you tend to do a few different positions in it, and it takes up some fabrication and measurement. So it kind of gets you key to um, what we do every day in the field as far as how to measure, layout, level, square, and all of those things are wrapped up in this print. So I think it's a good tool for education as well, like as far as teaching someone how to utilize a print to build something, and then show you also how to build something for yourself. So later you can actually even build a print for yourself on one of your own products. Yes, 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 yes. You know what? A few places here I have networked with don't even sell drops. They don't even sell drops. They only sell four pieces. And this one place I found, they sell drops. So I can go and get some structural steel drops from them. But most of these companies, they just sell full sticks or full that, or if someone got this, they had a piece they had to cut off, they might sell you a piece. But you pretty much like it's crazy. So we have to know that even though the material has went up, the skill set, the level of skill, they also are paying more to do certain things, to get certain things done. So, you know, being a tradesman, you can still benefit in this era right now. It's still a golden era for you. And you can also learn how to use that money, that income, to invest in other sources of income if you are into content, or if you're in investments. I mean, there's so much you can do as a tradesman to really leave your mark and actually grow your business. So I just wanted to come through you and talk just a little bit this morning. Like I said, I was up thinking, and just wanted to say that I feel like tradesmen will stand before kings and not mean man. And I feel like we are kings and queens. I feel like we are leaders. We are the initiators of some of the greatest thinkers, because even when they get the idea, it's passed down to someone who can make it happen. So I salute all the tradesmen, all the trades, and all the tradesmen. Hopefully everybody have a good morning, getting something to eat or going to bed. So everybody be blessed out there. Hold on.